Did I bring that up?
Go ahead.
Okay, the Trackstarz wanted to find out something yesterday, so we put up something on Facebook, meaning would a person marry a celibate, inexperienced person, maybe even a virgin?
You said, would you marry a virgin?
Well, on her page, we did it differently.
Oh, okay.
It was a friend of mine. Wow, people saying no.
Why?
Wow. You said why?
Yeah, why would somebody say no about that?
Because they don't.
Flesh, baby.
They don't want.
So you rather have somebody that's quote unquote experienced?
We got people in our own J-Dot camp that have told me that. Like, yo, I don't care. You're a good guy, but I know what it is.
So like you saying like they would rather marry somebody with experience?
You know, right? Yes, they did.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, there's two reasons I could see for that. If you're not a virgin and it will make you feel bad that somebody else was.
Wow.
That could be one.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other would just be you want somebody that know what they're doing.
Mm.
But the funny thing is, majority of people that roll with us in J-Dot are that word. So like, why would they want somebody like? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, yo, I want that, but you've never experienced it either, so you wouldn't know what the feeling would be like anyway.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense.
Well, basically what it was is I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I brought it up. Like, that is a vice in the Christian community. You know, sex is a very big deal to society. So where does it fare in the Christian community? And this person told me I was wrong for seeing the flesh of it. And she was like, well, you're wrong. And I'm like, how am I wrong? She says, well, you're wrong because Christians don't think that way. And I was like, what? I'm like, Christians are regular people too. I mean, you can't put a name in front of or give them a title and think that all their, you know, beliefs or whatever they hope for, their desires go out the window just because you put, you know, Christ in front of the I guess the phrase. So it's not fair to say that's what Christians believe, and we see that.
I mean that's the question.
Yeah.
Do you want to marry a virgin?
Yeah, that's the question. That's the question we put up. So the crazy thing about it was that, you know, a lot of women, and we actually were like, it was like we wanted an immediate response. So I had her pull out her phone and call different people. Mm-hmm. You know, she called 3 or 4 people from Destiny Metropolitan Church. She maybe called some people from college. And so it was almost like they were like, well, I could do it, but he had to be willing to be taught. And I'm like, no, that's not cool. Like, you can't say that. That's like telling a man, hey, let me teach you how to preach. Let me teach you how to pray. That's not cool. We don't, that's bad.
Okay, this is interesting because I think women want somebody with something experience if they're not a virgin, and then men who are not virgins want a virgin.
Okay, say it again.
I said women who are not virgins want a man that's not a virgin. But men who are not a virgin want a woman who's not a virgin.
But the first dude
who's not a virgin or is a virgin?
I mean, what is a virgin?
But I don't think that's true because the first dude that commented put N-O in parentheses.
Said no. And I heard some people talking about it at Expressions. They said no.
Wow. I mean, I think the thing is like if you don't have, for a man to be like, you know, I'm thinking about the young lady like I think it was last year or a year ago, 2 years ago. She was selling her virginity and dudes were like,
yes, she made $1.5 million.
About to pay her $1 million just
she
to have
cashed
sex
in?
for her.
Yeah.
Oh. So
she went up to the Bunny Ranch in Las Vegas where prostitution is legal. And the highest bid came in at $3 million. Yeah. But it was like some old guy. Wow. So she went with the guy that I think he pledged $1.5 million. She got that money.
She took $1.5 million less because the old guy.
That's the way I read it. That's the way I read the story. There's a whole news clip. YouTube it. It's all over the place. I mean, and she was gorgeous. She was an Italian girl. She was bad.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I think if a man finds out like, yo, my wife's a virgin, he may be like, you know, I think he would be more ready for that than finding out his wife had like sex with like mad guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think guys would rather pick a virgin.
I would say that, but I would think that their ideal would be like one dude.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of guys, they don't want a virgin necessarily because they want her to know a little bit.
But you know what? It's crazy because the numbers are high. If you don't really ask people, if you get to the point where you get comfortable with people and you can ask them, the numbers are really high. I know somebody personally who told me they started at 21, they just turned 27, and they're up to like number 26, 27 in women.
People that they slept with?
Yes.
Wow. Man.
Yes.
Like, would you? Okay, let me ask you.
And then the number of other things are double that number.
Okay, let me ask y'all this: would y'all date a woman who had a high, like before she became a Christian and she really living it now, but before then she had like sex partners, a lot of sex partners.
Can I be honest with you?
I did.
They are not gonna give you the number. You'll never know.
No, but what I'm saying, like, if she gave you the number, if like y'all was at a marriage counseling or whatever, and y'all about to get married, everything,
and you
she's
found
like, yeah.
out that way?
See, now you done gone too far into the relationship.
That's
you need
hard.
to back up and tell me is this date one or date two.
Okay, let's say y'all had a moment of truth in y'all relationship. You had a moment of truth, and she was like, you know, I had blase. I had like 20 partners, you know, in my lifetime. Would you still would you think about marrying her? That's
You know what's weird? I think 3 or 5 is worse than 20. After a certain number, I'm like, all right, it's whatever.
I think as Trackstarz, we don't need to answer this. We are in enough trouble. So
no, I mean, I think it's a good question because it's to a fact of a fact of the matter. Like, do you just be with anybody?
I think this is what I think, because just my personal experience, it's hard when somebody has more experience than you. I think with guys, if you have experience, they want somebody who has a little bit less experience than them, but just not none. Mm-hmm. But if you got a guy and the girl has way more, I think that would intimidate anybody.
Okay, I really can't get this away, so I'm going to sugarcoat it as best I can. This person told me, even if we got married, they would never tell me their real number.
Wow.
She was like, it's none of your business. She was like, do you believe that I'm a new creation in Christ? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, then you don't need to know.
That means she was getting it on, son.
And then you know what? But then also for a Christian woman, she may have already set in her mind that a certain number is too much. And now she's past that number. So she thinks, even if it's not a large number, in my mind, I've been with too many people compared to the person that I'm dating. So it's hard. I don't think, I mean, you know, they always say, if a girl gives you a number, you add 3 to it. If a girl gives you a number, you add 2. If a guy gives you a number, you subtract what?
So what if
2 or 3?
What if it's 0?
What if what's 0?
What if your number is 0?
Then
wow.
You probably got to add 0.5. I think you got to add 0.5.
Yeah, you gotta,
I don't know. I think the hard question is,
you gotta come off as the man.
That's what I just
be
said.
Confident.
What I just said was real. Marinate on what I just said and play it back. That's real. If somebody says 0, add 0.5.
Oh yeah,
that is real. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is the real question, the shocking question, is not, do you want a virgin, but the question that was asked was, would you marry a virgin? That's wide open, and they still said no.
Yeah.
But see, like, I think the thing is like even if you, I know I'm in a situation right now where if it goes, our relationship goes to marriage, that would be my case. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited because I'm like, you don't have to compare me to nobody. You know, I could be horrible, and you'd be like, this is the best thing in my life. But the funny thing is about that is that's the way God designed it, was that people wouldn't know, you wouldn't be in bed, and y'all in the act of, you and your wife is in the act of doing it, and she thinking about like, yo, Larry wasn't doing this
exactly.
at all.
You know what?
So
that was my blog.
You know, that's
you
what
read my
we
blog.
need to think about, is like, doing it the way God wants it is because you won't have to compare. Your first experience, you don't know if it's bad or good.